This is, I don't know, intros, take 10. We are here today because I am partnering with Crate & Barrel to answer all of your burning questions about kitchen equipment. Step 1, setting up your kitchen, a cutting board and a knife. If you're gonna invest in only one knife, the chef's knife. Shop for a knife in person. No one can really tell you what knife suits you except for you. It's all about how it feels in your hand. This knife can do 95% of the tasks in the kitchen. And I'm gonna show you how to sharpen it, and then I'm gonna show you how to hone it, because those are two completely separate activities. You should probably get a stone. This is arguably more important than the honing steel. I took this knife and slammed it on a brick wall. Great idea, Brett. So that we could actually sharpen it. The paper test. Okay, I can't even break ground. A nightmare. So we need to sharpen this. So we're starting with the coarse side up, a little bit of water on it. Basically what we're trying to do is kind of sharpen one side, which will leave a burr on the other side, and then sharpen the other side to remove the burr. Placing 2 fingers right at the tip of the knife. This would be 15 to 20 degrees, and that's the angle that you want when you start to make those sweeping motions on the stone. So my hands will always stay on the blade, but I'm putting pressure only on the way out, and then I'm releasing it on the way in. And you can start slowly at first, and then once you get the hang of it, you can move a little more quickly. The blade has started to sharpen, and it's leaving a little burr on this top edge. So now I'm gonna flip the knife and go back the other way. And I'm gonna flip over, and we're gonna do the finer side, and this is like polishing and perfecting the blade. Same exact thing. It doesn't sound as coarse because it's not, it's fine. It really depends how much you use your knife. That's what will determine how often you need to sharpen it. You'll know when it's not sharp. If you can't slice through a tomato without having to like poke it and make a groove and then start to cut through it, you need to sharpen. If this is the tool that you are using the most in the kitchen, which I do think it is, you might as well like get to know it and know how to treat it right, because it's there for you all the time in the kitchen. And then let's see how we did. That felt good. So this piece of equipment is to be paired with this. This is like your sharpening kit. This steel is something for when you just want to remove the burr from the blade. And so it's not sharpening, but it's just honing. And this is how you hone. You take the knife and you start 20 degrees coming this way, and then you go to the underside, and it's 20 degrees coming back this way also. So 1, 2, 3. Same angle all the way. Beauty. Perfectly clean edge. Yeah, now that we have a sharp knife, let's cut some things, and we'll do some Knife Skills 101. We are rolling. I'm the director.
Ooh.
We now have a very, very sharp knife. Obviously, dicing an onion is huge. So you'll cut the onion through the root in. The nub keeps it intact. And I'm going in and I'm making cuts parallel to the cutting board all the way up the height of the onion. And now we turn it and we go cuts this way. And then we're gonna come across this way. And that's gonna turn it into a perfect dice. Now for my favorite cut, the roll cut, which is a lesser known cut. This I think is the perfect cut for a long, slender vegetable like a cucumber or a carrot. And this is a great alternative to just like chopping your way through it and making some like dumb circles. So what you do is you make one diagonal bias cut, and then you roll the cucumber 1/4 turn towards you, and you make another cut, and you roll it again towards you, and you make another cut, and your knife stays in the exact same angle and position every time. You're just turning the cucumber and you're making your way all the way down the length of it. And then you get these beautiful, strange, kind of unique little gems. Or you could do this. Another really fun knife skill is how to get all of the flesh off the bell pepper and just leave behind the seeds. All you have to do is put your pepper upright on your cutting board and then cut it into 4 lobes. You're just shaving the lobe off. So 1 lobe, 2 lobes, 3 lobes, 4 lobes, and then everything else is left behind and there's no seeds on the cutting board. And then you can take the lobes and you can do whatever you want to them. You know, you can cut them into like little triangular shapes, or you could do like a 1990s crudité platter, just like straight across type of vibe. You just go from there. The other really crucial, fundamental piece of equipment in your kitchen is your cutting board. I believe that everyone should have a large and in charge cutting board. This is pretty big, but you could even go bigger, like this. The other thing that you should look for in a cutting board is heft. This is very heavy, and that means it's sturdy and stable and it doesn't slide around. This, no. This is a no. One thing that is, I think people really overlook with cutting boards is the ability to zone them. So what I do is assign a quadrant in my cutting board. Usually for me, it's the bottom right corner, and that's the only quadrant of the cutting board that I will cut alliums in. So that means that none of these juices that are very powerful and can flavor other things are spilling onto other parts of the cutting board. And then you can use the rest of the board for things like fruits and vegetables. And if you want to get super extra with your zoning, you can also assign a zone for raw meat so that you're not worrying about bacteria. And then there's caring for your cutting board and cleaning it. And I usually wash my cutting board with soapy warm water after I'm done for the night. But then every once in a while, you can also kind of do an odor eliminator exfoliation that I learned from Claire Saffitz. She used to clean her cutting boards this way, and then I adopted it because it's kind of genius because it uses the world's greatest ingredient, kosher salt. You'll cut a lemon in half, and then you'll take kosher salt and you'll sprinkle it all over the board. And this is gonna act as an abrasive. And then you'll take your half of a lemon and you'll just start working it in circles. And it's basically, you're just exfoliating the cutting board. The pH is so low in a lemon because it's acidic that it's a bacteria killer. So you're just killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Did I nail it? Someone just told me that, I'm gonna be honest. So we spent some nice time taking it to the spa, and now I'm just gonna go rinse it in some water. And now we have a squeaky clean cutting board. Wipe it down, make sure you wick away as much moisture as possible on all sides. And then either lean it up against a wall or prop it up on something tall enough to allow for air circulation underneath it as it dries. Big takeaways here: get as large of a board as you can, get a sturdy, heavy one. This is Booze Block, I got it in Crate and Barrel, but get something as big as you can to fit in your counter space. And that's it.